How to never get angry or bothered by people. Welcome to Woo Woo Wednesday. I'm Dr. Jane.
Oh, I forgot. I did that to see if she would get mad or angry.
No. Clearly not.
Well, I'm Devi Jade. It's nice to see you guys again. And we are here to share with you what everybody hates, which is get angry. But we all do.
It doesn't feel good. So if it doesn't feel good, we need to stay away from it for attraction, right? Because there's really only two emotions, right? Good and bad.
So she's playing with me today, and I'm going to play with her because I like to be surprised on our sessions. And
I do ask Jade, do you want to know what the topic is? And she's like, no, let's just go for it.
You never want to know. And remember, I told you guys before, we don't script these. We just kind of blah, 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 blah.
Clearly, these are not scripted.
Right. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, with all these retrogrades going on, Saturn with Venus especially, you're talking about our love relationships, our regular relationships. And we're getting down to the nitty gritty, the bones of things, the DNA of things with Saturn. And Saturn is making us look at what's going to break us or make us. And you will be in the flow of certain things, and then all of a sudden we have one day that shit hits us in the face, and it's like, what happened to my flow? Where did it go? I am like a complete today, what is wrong with me? And then not only have you been mad at the world, now you're mad at yourself for being mad at the world. So you got a double duty there. Yeah. So, being angry is a good thing if you understand where the anger comes from. Anger gives you an opportunity that you are plucking out something that doesn't work for you. Mm-hmm. I often tell people, think of like in the scriptures. Wasn't there a lot of different prophets and people in there that got mad, including Jesus? He did. He got mad. Okay, he went off. And what's wrong with that? It's a human thing to do. Sometimes that anger will break something open so something better can come through. Yeah. What about babies? When they first come to the world, they came through that little tiny canal that was really tiny, but now it looks like, it's like bigger. So they come through there and they, first they're like, oh my God, it's dark. Oh, this is crap.
It's bright and it's cold and it's noisy.
Yeah. That's right. And so you'll hear about women that birth like in pools, warm pools, and the baby just, and I mean, whatever floats you, but they seemingly are quiet. Now, once upon a time, a long time ago, everything was dark and quiet, and they would wrap the baby really quick, and so they felt like they were back in that little pod. Notice when we all get angry, a lot of us want to say, check out, gotta not do anything. And some of us want to curl back up into that little ball. We just want to bed. We just want to, get into a little, and then people go, oh, I was so depressed. No, you were going back to the womb. You were allowing yourself a moment of silence again.
Well, if people are actually allowing themselves a true moment of silence, that's awesome. But if people are going into that, fetal position or whatever, the dark room, and they're just chewing on the thing that made them angry, they're actually making it bigger and worse.
Yeah, I guess people do that, but and typically I have found with people is when they go to that level, they really aren't saying anything. They're really wanting to shut down. Yeah. That's that really tight thing. Now, I'll give you my own candid example. Okay, so I absolutely do have clients that come to me for years. I tell you guys that. But I have a few that I love so much, and yet they decide that I am their screaming board. And whenever I talk to them once a week, they've piled it up all week, and here it comes. And I get thrown up on. The whole session, I'm sitting there. And after 10 years of that, every week, do you not think that occasionally my patience gets a bit thin? It does. I'm not talking about two people having a discussion and it gets a little bit heated and you are able to resolve. I'm talking about screaming screaming bloody murder at me for an hour. Okay, now how many of you think you can do that for 10 years in a row?
Why would you allow that?
Well, at times, first of all, I know people like to vent. I have, I can.
Yeah, but scientifically, venting is the worst thing that you can do because it makes the bad thing bigger.
Okay, so see, this is where this is going to get very good for us, because as a person of what I do, I can listen to that. I can listen to it. I am what's called a West or death, rebirth, birth, redeath healer, shamanistic. So I'm able to take that crap that you guys give to me, and people give to me for a long, long time, because sometimes people have to vent and vent and vent and vent, and then pretty soon it goes out. Now, if after so long, what Dr. Jane is saying, she's saying, well, aren't they getting in a rut? Aren't they coming into where, okay, I'm saving it up, so this is where I get to go take the garbage. If I feel that it's very useless and it's just coming at me over and over and over and nothing is shifting off of it, then at some point, and I'll say, okay, this isn't working. You're using me as your shit board, and it's too much. It's too much. We're going to break that. And if they keep coming, I've got to keep telling them, we're going to break that. And this is the candid piece. If you don't think sometimes, once in a blue moon, like with this particular person I'm thinking of, I did have to pitch my voice. And that's when that person shut up. And I said, what is it about you that I have to pitch my voice to this level that you cannot hear me?
Yeah.
Because, and this person said, well, that's the only way I'll listen. And I said, that's very dysfunctional.
It's very dysfunctional. It's not healthy, and it's not allowing that flow.
So I'm teaching her, and what happened with that, now here you guys, I'm not telling, most therapists will not take that, okay? But again, I'm in a different kind of a realm to where I can, because I go into—
I'll take it, but I'll also, like, the whole thing is, it's not long-term, it's not a healthy habit. It's not a healthy pattern to be in. It's a pattern of brokenness. It's a pattern of blindness. Yeah, and it's not a pattern of connection and flow at all.
But here's the thing with this, is the reason I put up with that is because, and I'm not putting up with it, I'm allowing it. And why I'm allowing it is because I am working with the energy of the person. And so that energy is all tucked under this hurt. And the other day, for the first time in all these years, her one part, because we all have different parts, her one part that would not come and talk to me came out and said, well, this is why something I never told you. And it was so little. It had nothing. It wasn't about abuse. It wasn't about anything. It was so little, but so embarrassing, so highly embarrassing to her. And I said, geez, you could have told me that at least 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was not divine timing. And I know that divine timing is everything. We've worked through every kind of issue this person's had. She's extremely, such a good person. She has an amazing job. She's got an amazing husband. I was able to marry him. Now she's expecting. I mean, everything in her life is working, but this piece she hid from me. And I said, okay, that tied into this other thing that you have.
Yeah.
Now you'll be able to let go of it, because you're going to become a mother, and you can't bring that to the table with a new one.
Right. So for practical application for all the folks that are watching the video, if they're stuck in that cycle of anger, or they're stuck in the cycle of exterior things causing them anger and frustration. I was sitting with a friend yesterday. We were sitting by the pool just talking, and she was upset about something that her ex-husband had done. Now, this is something that her ex-husband continually does, and they've been divorced almost 11 years. And so this is not a new soundtrack coming from her. And finally I looked over and I said, this is just who this person is. If you will let go of the anger, I'm not angry anymore. And I said, oh yeah, congratulations. That's convincing. Like, I'm not angry anymore. Okay. Yes, you are, newsflash. Yes, you are. You need to let go of well, because he doesn't do this, I'm not going to tell him this, this, and this thing. That's anger and revenge. And it's very, very unproductive. So how do you think, Jade, that people can come out from underneath their own blinders and stop being so reactive and angry? Because it doesn't do anything positive for them.
It really doesn't. But in the middle of all that, people really, what they're doing is what 101 psychology, I mean, underneath all of that is tremendous sorrow or pain. And it's like, it's an addiction. It becomes an addiction. They're addicted to anger or to feeling something. It's like, I got to feel something. I got to feel something. I got to make sure that because they're kind of disassociated and they don't realize they're disassociated from that part. And so they're able to bring that together. And once that brain, the ego part, I'll say, okay, your ego's talking again. And she says, my ego's talking again. I said, yes, thank you, ego. We're going to give you something else to do. You're taking charge. And now that she's clamped onto that, because I keep saying your ego's talking again, she's like, oh, my ego is talking. So again, rapport. I keep telling you guys that when I'm working with people, it's that safety zone. She felt safe enough to let that teeny little, it's an itty bitty, weeny little tiny kitty cat out of the bag. It wasn't even anything big. All the big stuff's gone. And I think for me, when I get angry, and I'm like, okay, Jade, where's it coming from? Is that the truth? Are you projecting? Spew, whatever. And then I'm through it. But I know how to work through it really quickly. For the average person, it might take you a day or two or a week. Sometimes.
But I love those questions. And I think that people can take that away. What am I really angry about? What I say to people is find what's the real need here? Yeah. Well, I need your attention. No, you don't need my attention. What do you need here? I need to feel valued. Great. You don't necessarily need this particular thing in order to feel that thing, figure out what the real need is. I think that's what you're saying is you ask yourself, is this what I want to be my truth?
Yeah. It's like, is that true for you? I mean, where you want to look like, where did it come from? Because and that's what you're saying. So it's two practitioners doing it in a different way. So it's good whichever way it comes out. Absolutely. And remember you guys, there's few little key things that happen. If it triggers you, then it's something about you. It's your trigger. And then you get to if it goes through you and you reach out to someone that's safe to you and they can help you to work it out, you can actually flip it around and see that the person that pushed you in the line, when they do that in the concert, and you go, what the hell are you doing? Okay, then you get to say, this is an opportunity for me to let go of this, or to flip it around and say, you're my teacher right now. Because the ones that trigger you are your teachers. They're helping you to release something. This happens particularly with mom and dad stuff. Oh my goodness.
Yes. I want everybody just to stop. I want to repeat what you just said. Yeah. And I want everybody to if you're watching this, open the comment section. I want you to type this in just as a note-taking skill for yourself so that it will really implant there. Jade just said the things that trigger you are your teachers. Mm-hmm. So instead of saying this thing is bad because it's causing me to say this thing exists to bring awareness about something in my world, something in myself, something about me, and look at it as an opportunity for growth.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Jane is we're planting the little seeds, but I like to really cliff note it because the brain's like, okay, I just heard what she said. I don't know where it went, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So yes, all the seeds floated in, you guys, and I'm just going to cliff note it. If it triggers you, it's your trigger, period. You get to look at it and say, oh, this is about me. It's that one finger out, three fingers back thing. Okay, so allow yourself the grace, here's a good word, the grace to take a look and say, well, if Jesus can get mad, then I can get mad too.
There is a difference between righteous anger and just being ridiculous.
No, it is. It is, yeah. Everything that we do is to assist us to let go of pieces that don't work.
Yeah.
Good pieces, you know?
Yeah.
And so definitely and yesterday when I had a little bit of a moment, because I can feel when people are energetically getting at me and it's really underneath and they don't even know they're doing it, because I can feel things so deeply. People they're not even like, I never felt that way. And then 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, they go, actually, I was thinking that. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so when that happens and I can feel them, then I will go in there and I'll say, okay, I'm going to text them something really nice so that they gently become aware of what's going on. And that's the way I take it now at this level. Then they flip it around and they say, oh, well, how can I help you then? So that's another way you can do it. If you're feeling it and you're really, really feeling it, don't attack them back. Just say,
absolutely.
I'm thinking that I'm feeling this. Own yourself. I'm feeling this. And I was just wondering, is there something there that I'm not getting? Because then they'll say, actually, no, that was me. I wasn't helping you.
Yeah.
Almost
That's
always
great.
people will do that. Now, don't do that with an angry ex. No,
Yeah.
that's not the way to get your ex back. No.
No. All right. So that's just about all the time that we have. I just wanted to add one more thing about the venting, because we did talk about venting a lot. If you find yourself being a venter or someone who's having people vent at you, understand that energy builds or reduces. And so if you're going to give it your thought and your action, then it's going to get bigger. So I always encourage people to be more introspective, just like Jade just said. Go inside, figure out what the need, what the trigger is, why the trigger's there, and what the need is underneath it, so that you can have a more solutions-based action plan and thought plan that feels better. Because venting doesn't actually feel good. It just feels good for just a second. It's kind of like, eating too much dessert. It feels good for just a second, and then you're like, blah. That's what venting does for you energetically. So I would encourage everybody to not vent unless you would like to hire Jade to receive that from you, which clearly she does.
Hello. No.
Everybody hire Jade and then go scream at her.
You can come to a lodge and you can scream your guts out, because that's what you do. Now that's no cost to you. That's a sacred ceremony. But another thing is there's a saying, and it is a biblical saying, and it does come from Jesus, and it's turn the other cheek. Now, when I thought, people think, oh, that means he turned the other cheek and got slapped. He corrected me, said, no. What that meant is, if there's venting, you turn the other cheek, you walk away. That's what it means. Just walk away from it.
And you can decide what you're going to energetically be a part of and not be a part of. When there's negative news out there or negative things happening or people talking about things that don't feel good, you can decide whether to, like the hokey pokey, are you going to put your whole self in? Or are you going to take your whole self out and do the hokey pokey?
I can't believe you all know that song.
All right, we're going to do the YouTube hokey pokey now. So you put your cursor on the thumbs up and click it, and then go over to the subscribe button and click it, and then shake it all about. And we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get a notification when we drop another video to help you live a life with more happiness, more success, and lower stress.